I was 19, he was 21 when we met. We were both in the military, so it wasn't like we were around each other all the time. So the dynamic was very different than, I guess, people that are living in the same house every day.
And you said you're single now, right? Do you think you're in a better situation now?
For my son, us two together?
No,
like
I
the
mean,
way
like personally.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, what does life look like after 55 if you're by yourself?
I'm not going to be by myself by the time I'm 55. I don't know because I'm not there. I don't know.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like a lot of times, like we think we can, like we do better. Like what if you don't?
Well, if
would that decision still be the right one in hindsight?
Yeah.
You'd rather be by yourself?
Well, there's lots of things out there that I can do to be of service to. There's many places and spaces that I can serve without it being, I feel like I've given up my life fully because I've got an amazing son. We co-parent amazingly. And so it was a choice that I made, so I have to just hold that L.
Because you mentioned
it does, but from what you're saying, it's not an L.
Well, no, but I mean, in hindsight, maybe when I get to 55, but I'm not there at the moment in this present time. I don't feel like it's an L. But if I get to 55 and I'm like, oh, damn it, I'm here with my cat or my elephant, maybe. I'll have an elephant, maybe. I live in Thailand.
Do you think you'd have enough money to save for like retirement at that age? Okay, you'll be okay.
Yeah.
Because I think you need like, what do they say, 1.5 million to retire?
I don't think I'll retire at 55.
They're 65 even.
I don't even think it's 60. My gran was working right up until she had her own little shop.
Yeah, but you don't know if you get sick. You don't know if something will happen.
I've got insurance for all of that.
Okay. Good. You had a question, Troy?
I'm fully insured.
You mentioned about the ages, though. Do you think this is part of the problem? Because, like the way you're describing it, you were like he was 21, you were 19 when you guys got married. Because I think
we weren't married, but when we got together,
when you got to you weren't married.
No,
you
no,
never
no,
married.
No, we got engaged. No, I didn't get to the marriage bit. No.
Oh, okay. That affects it then, because like I think a point Pearl often makes is that if you look at the marriage vows, what are the marriage vows? You know, for Richard, in health.
I wouldn't have got divorced if I had got married.
Yeah.
There would have been no divorce. We would have just been stuck with each other, I guess. I guess it was easier because we hadn't got married yet. But I think because when I had my son, I had only just had him when I found out. And I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not going to have some woman calling me again next year, crying down the phone. And it was just too much of that. But I was like, I'm done.
Is that part of the problem, though? Because people get married kind of, well, actually, they don't even get married that young anymore, do they? That's the thing. And even if they did, also, you could argue, but they still sign up for those vows.
Is he still a cheater to this day?
It's not my business to.
You
do you know what? I don't know. Like,
it's not your problem.
You know you're my girl, right? But it's mad to me because it's like how quickly girls are prepared to have a child without having marriage and are willing to leave a relationship with a child, but you would stay with a relationship if you're married.
I was already a single mum, so I didn't. I had my daughter, and I was already a professional at that, so it wasn't a scary prospect for me because I was already a single mother from the age of 17. So I think the idea of
wait, what? Like, so the relationship you're in, he's not the baby father.
He's not the father of my child. So I've got a 19-year-old adult daughter, and then I've got a 10-year-old son, and he's not the father. Because I don't use that term. He's not the father of my daughter, no. He's the father of my son.
Okay. I was so confused.
Well, it's not really. It's quite simple. It's like one child, another child, two fathers.
Yeah.
That would be a really good episode for EastEnders. Like your lifestyle. Honestly, I'm like thinking that would be sick.
No, but not just you though. Like I do find a lot of people are like willing to leave like relationships that's got kids in them. As opposed to leaving it, like they take marriage more seriously, but no one wants to get married
because it's finances. Like, who wants to spend money on a wedding? What guy wants to spend money on a wedding? It takes them long enough to get there, and so I guess it
should be cheaper than having a kid.
Well, not in one go, but you don't have to spend it's 180,000 for a child till their 18th.
I was gonna say, what kind of marriage is that? I was like, 180,000.
It's spread over 18 years, not just one day and one day for. Yeah, I mean, I don't see it as a waste of money. My children, I see it as a beautiful experience.
But the issue is, why do people, if they've made the step of actually having a child together, and then they just decide, oh, actually, I'm not that happy, whatever. I mean, okay, putting aside cases of like, you know, of a terrible abuse and that sort of thing, but in more normal circumstances where it's just like the spark's not there anymore, the vibe's like not kind of gone. Why is it then that people feel it's okay to separate, if that makes sense? Because it is very damaging to kids. And I speak as somebody, you know, I was from a broken home. I've experienced this kind of stuff. I've seen it in my family and other families. Yeah, it seems people can be quite gung-ho about this these days. You know?
I also think it's been made easier for women.
It has been made easier.
When I was younger, I've spoken about this before, that my mum made it sound like I didn't need a man. So it was never in my mind that, oh, you are not going to be able to do it on your own. But I said to my daughter, do not do it. Like you need two parents in the same household. Like there's moments where my son does something and I have to send videos and send pictures when if we were together. Well, he's in the military, so he probably wouldn't be there anyway. But
is it because society encourages feels over responsibility now?
Yeah. I think it's that element of happiness again. People are too concerned about how they're feeling rather than the logical reasons for doing things. It's like you can say all you want about how happy you are and how happy the child is if the parents are in separate homes. But factually, children who come from two-parent homes do better off in life. Factually, children who come from single homes are more likely to be homeless. They're more likely to be in prison. They're more likely to do drugs. They're more likely to have addictions. So I just think that this whole, I don't know, the way the world is right now, everything's focused on how people feel, and the point is that feelings are temporary. They last in the moment, they don't last forever, but the actions that you do in life, that does last forever. And there's a domino effect to everything you do. So I think it's just all about sacrifice and how much you're willing to sacrifice, and I don't think people these days are willing to sacrifice a lot.
I think also we need to recognise that not everybody is born super logical. Not everybody is, like, it took me a long time to have this ability to logically break down in the moment how my feelings are going to have a reaction and action. Some people are just born logical.
Why is that? Did your parents not teach you to be logical? Like what?
My mum's a feeler as well in terms of Myers-Briggs. I know not many people believe in it.
Were your parents together?
No, my dad was in Her Majesty's Pleasure. So no, they weren't together.
I don't know what that means.
Prison.
Okay, so there you go. Yeah. So the reason that you didn't have that was because it seems like you didn't have a father in the home.
Yeah, definitely.
And so it kind of goes back to what she was saying. It's like a generation of women that put their feelings before the family, and who had to suffer for it, you. Yeah. And then who had to suffer for it, your kids, because you weren't taught that, and it's a complete cycle.
Yeah, that's what I was saying the other day, that it needs both, because the men are my son's dad puts logic. I'm like, I just send Ethan to his dad. I'm like, your dad will.
Men are great at that one.
Yeah.
But sometimes I think people get into a relationship or people get married for codependency reasons. Like they can't handle life by themselves, so they need to lean on someone or depend on someone.
Is that a bad thing in marriage?
Should be interdependent, not codependent.
I think you should both be equally dependent so you can help each other, because what if one day your husband, his finances aren't doing well, and obviously you're used to being dependent on him. How are you going to help him? So you have to be equally as
How does that work in society? Does it work well?
What do you mean?
But women being equally dependent on their husbands.
No.
Is that a good outcome in society? The more women worked and were the more equal, did it have a good outcome? Were there more families or less families? It's okay if you don't know.
What do you mean? As in, like,
so like the more women worked and there's two incomes, the less families there were.
The less women respect men and their place, because it's like, I don't need you. I got my own.
I don't know. I'm thinking.
So when you say like it's good, I'm asking, is it good? Did it lead to good outcomes?
Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Nah,
is a celebrity couple what we should base everyday relationships off of?
Well, what I'm saying is you should be independent and be able to take care and love yourself and know how to deal with yourself so you can help somebody else.
And
Like, you can't love somebody else until you love yourself first.
Were you talking about financially codependent or emotionally then? Because I think
both. I think overall, emotionally, financially, mentally as well, that you should be whole yourself before getting into a relationship or getting married.
I think you should have the ability to, like, because obviously, depending on what age you meet your partner, obviously you would have worked at some point, but then have that ability to, because when you have kids, as soon as you push them out, you're not going to be able to work.
That's what I think is part of the problem. Because literally, if you're there working and I'm there working, then there's two jobs. The employer has no reason to give me a high wage because there's more people available for the roles. So now that the price of everything has increased and everything is more expensive and I get less money, now I have to be codependent on my wife. It's not an option anymore. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Whereas if you guys wasn't working, then the employer doesn't necessarily have to employ me, but if he wants to employ me, he has to pay me a wage that could feed my family.
Yeah.
Equally, but say if you're going through a hard patch, your wife should be able to
I've got
help. Friends, wife, girlfriend, whatever's going on, they should help you until you get back onto your feet.
When it comes to finances, my guys got me, bro. Like, I'm not going to ask a woman to help me with nothing, bro.
What if she's your wife?
Yeah, I'm not going to ask her to... Listen, babes, your job is to worry about the household. I'm not even going to let you know that we're having financial issues to that point. Before it even gets to that point,
so you're going to lack communication as well?
No, I'm going to be like, listen... this month might be a little hard, but I'm going to try my best to literally sort it out.
So
I'm not going to just...
That's good.
As long as you communicate, because you can't keep your partner in.
Yeah, but why do we don't need to know everything?
What, if the lights get switched off or the bailiff's at the door, you need to know at some point, right?
We ain't getting that far.
See, this is what you just did. You just went to like the worst case
I mean, what
scenario.
I'm saying is communication is important. You don't need to tell me everything. But.
But I just think as women, like sometimes we think and this is a lesson I had to learn, but I think that we think we're entitled to information that men are just trying to fix it and not have us worry about it.
Yeah, literally.
I agree.
I don't want you to think about it too, because you're going to be stressed and your stress is going to stress me out and I'm going to be less able to sort it out. I'm like, listen, it's sorted. Every month has been sorted so far, right? All right, so don't worry. This time, it's just a little bit harder for me. Just rub my back a little harder. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Just give me extra little bit loving. And,
But why would you want to be in a long-term relationship with someone that you don't feel comfortable expressing your emotions?
I feel comfortable. I don't. I'll tell you anything. But if I know what I'm going to tell you is not going to be easy on you, why tell you it? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Why make my girlfriend go through or my wife go through the stress that she doesn't... listen, that's not your stress. It's like her coming to me with every issue she's got in the house. I don't want to hear it. Don't come to me with every issue in the house because I already got my issues to sort out. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So it's not that I lack communication. It's just that some things is not meant for you to worry about.
And it's how you create a sacred space, you know. When you go into a relationship, you don't want to be bringing all of this baggage with you. And I think in order to make a marriage long and successful, you don't need to know every little detail of what they're doing, where they're going, how the finances are going. You create sacred space. You know, as a woman, you take the load of the household and the kids. You know, you don't need to bother your husband with every single thing, and vice versa. The husband doesn't need to come home and tell you exactly what's happened at work and how he's paid the bills, but he's only got said how much ever left. Like, it's all about creating a space where you're in like a comfort zone together. And the fact that men have this ability where they will go out and they will work and they will take the load of the finances, if they're not telling you if they're a bit short one month, I don't think that's a bad thing. I actually think it's beautiful that they want to kind of
would it be less attractive though as well if the dude is like coming out to you with every single little thing?
Yeah, like if he's coming home and he's like, I'm 20 quid short and all of this, like, I'd just be like,
no brokies.
Oh my gosh,
that's really bad.
I can give you £20, but
my ex-boyfriend, my childhood sweetheart. Oh gosh, I can't believe I'm saying this.
Maybe don't.
He didn't have money at the time to buy a car.
Well, that's not bad.
So I bought him a car.
You bought him a car?
Ooh. Wow.
How much was the car?
It was a BMW E36, I believe. So it was a bit of a class. Yeah.
So
Lucky boy, innit?
So obviously he paid me back in installments, okay? But that's what I mean. Like
how
when
that
you can
affect the
see
dynamic of your
someone.
relationship?
What does that do to your
Because then he
relationship?
owes you money.
It's not that. It's
And then
like
when you
a
argue, you're like, well,
relationship.
you owe me
I think
money.
it's really important to have like a friendship.
Yeah.
Who broke up with who?
And does he
I
still
broke
owe
up
you the
with
money?
him, but not for that reason. Not for that reason.
And does he
It was
still
for
owe
a
you-
different reason.
I just
Does he
asked the
still-
question.
Does he still owe you the money?
No, he paid me back. Like I trusted him. Like
Did you break up with him after he paid you back?
The reason why I broke up with him is because he called me another girl's name.
So did he cheat?
That's all
too?
right.
No, what?
What? Wait, what?
That's crazy.
Anyways,
Wait, you break up with me not because I cheated, but because I called you someone else?
But might have, was he not
no,
cheating?
I know who that girl was because he spoke about that girl in the beginning of the relationship, and I found something a little bit sus.
No, but that's my point. Like, even if that's even more reason. Because if it's a girl that I used to see, then it's quite easy that I might have mistaken you for.
You know, I actually think the same thing because I don't know. I just feel like in society we always jump to the worst case scenario instead of giving people the benefit of the doubt. What if he just? What if
Just
he
a slip up?
Yeah.
Well, how long were you two speaking for?
Together.
Oh no, we were like childhood sweethearts.
Yeah,
And
but
then
like,
I
how
broke up
long?
and I met him when I was 16. We got together when I was 17, and then I broke up with him when I was like 21, 22.
So for him so when did he mention her? Because you said at the beginning of your relationship, was that when you were like
Oh
16?
yeah. When
and
I was
then
16,
he said her name when you were 21.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's a
That is-
big, like,
yeah.
how was that?
But it's just words. It's just
Oh
words.
no, there was context behind those
Yeah.
words. But anyway, what I'm saying is in a relationship.
wait, hold on. Was
When
you
you
was
were
you
in
doing
the
the
middle
naughty
of
when he
it.
said it? No way. No way. Break up with him. No way.
No. We were driving in the car.
Oh, okay.
I think the one that I bought him, and he just said her name, and then he went, Nadeshi, I mean. And it was because he was hanging out with her before he
In
saw
your
me.
car?
Yeah, that's crazy. In the car.
How do you know?
Did you have it all out with him though afterwards? Were you like?
But I just asked him, but he started getting a little bit defensive, and I just said to him, like, listen, like, I'm not judging you, I'm not telling you off, like, I'm not your mum.
But our 5-year relationship is over. You just stop the car. Like, yeah.
No,
Give me back my paper.
We were on the motorway. We were on the motorway, so that couldn't even happen. But anyways, I just said to him, like, it's okay, like, you can tell me. And then he was just like, because I knew the girl that he was talking about because they were friends during like their childhood, and then they tried to date, but it didn't work because it turned out that she's a lesbian. So I was like, fair enough. And then they stopped speaking.
So he called you a lesbian's name and you still dumped him?
Yeah,
She's a lesbian.
If she's a lesbian, what?
But that wasn't the problem.
Wait, did he tell you that
What's
she
the
was a
problem
lesbian?
then? Come on, we need context.
Yeah, sorry. Let her finish. Let her finish.
What's the context?
So I was like, okay, so why are you hiding the fact that you're hanging out with her if you're just friends? And then he was just like, oh, and he couldn't give me a straight answer. So that's when I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna give it time. If you want to open up about something, you will open up when you have to. Anyways, time goes on, and he showed me videos on his phone of them hanging out. They're watching a movie, they're under a blanket together, eating Chinese food, and I was just like...
He sent you the video.
He didn't send me it, he just showed me on his phone. He was like, see, we're not doing anything. And I was just like... something is just off here.
He didn't help his case there, did he?
Something's just... Like, you know when you don't want to judge someone. You know when you don't want to judge someone.
Is he trying to break up with you or something?
You started the story by
himself.
saying you broke up with him because he called you another girl.
Yeah,
This isn't...
I gave him time because I was just like, it could be a slip up. You never know. But then stuff didn't, it wasn't adding up. And then I was just like, you know what?
But ultimately, if she was a lesbian, were they getting down to it anyway? I mean...
But this leads on to
be
a different
honest,
question.
I thought you were going to say that he said your name, like said that girl's name while you were banging or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, that's where I thought the story was going.
Oh, no.
It doesn't really seem that serious.
Yeah.
Well,
wait, can I ask you something?
This is a massive anticlimax.
As a man or woman, are you allowed to like two people?
Yeah,
Like, if I'm going out with you, am I allowed to like someone else?
of course.
I mean, if you're in a hardcore committed relationship and you're planning on getting married and practicing exclusivity, then that's a bit of a disrespect. But if you're in an open relationship and you're just
it's
dating...
a disrespect for me to like someone
You have
naturally,
eyes, though.
like something I can't help.
Yeah, you can't help how you feel. You can't help, like, attraction isn't a choice. So if you walk past someone hot and you're like, God damn.
Oh, you mean that? I thought you meant as in, like,
physically do something.
You're seeing someone else whilst you're in a relationship.
No. I mean, like, are you allowed to like someone?
Yeah, of course.
Right,
like,
so,
if he liked another girl's pictures on Instagram, I'll be like, chill.
No, not like that. I mean, like, am I attracted to her? Am I allowed to be attracted to another woman?
Well, in a relationship?
Yeah, while I'm in a relationship.
I have a question, actually. Did you have guy friends during this?
Yeah, but it was very platonic.
Were you under blanket?
Okay.
No, surprisingly.
Okay, so you had male friends. But you were mad at him for having a female friend.
Oh no, it wasn't like that. Okay. It was like there were more than a bit of a female friend. Do you see what I mean?
There's layers. There's layers.
Yeah.
To this. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you find out for sure that they hooked up or like did something?
You know, I believe
for sure. Like they